Hello, BookTube. This is a continuation of my 2024 library tour. I'm still doing the classics, canonical, modern, and contemporary fiction, poetry, and drama section of my library, which I guess I'm just going to stick with. I am on this shelf over here, shelf 4. So let's get going. First up is a work of gay fiction, Swimming in the Dark by Tomasz Jędrowski. This is a Polish novel set in the 80s, which did not get on with. Back to poetry with the selected poems and the selected poetry of Robertson Jeffers, which is a book that I have struggled with for about 20 years. I like Robertson Jeffers' work, but I think reading him all in one go is a bit much. I need to, take him on piecemeal. Next is On the Royal Road by Elfriede Jelinek, which I've not gotten around to yet. I recently bought it with my last University of Chicago Press book haul. Same setup. This is The Unfinished by Reinhard Yergel. Back to poetry with Metabolics by Jessica E. Johnson, which I thought was quite good. And then a return to Greek mythology with the fantastic Gods and Mortals by Sarah Iles Johnston. This is a really good collection of Greek myths that I regret not having reviewed for Open Letters. The next three are by Troy Jolomar. At Lake Skugog, which is really good. I think my favorite collection of his, though, is Syllabus of Errors. Although that might actually change with every reread. And his most recent is Earthly Delights. All of them are part of the Princeton Poets series, or Princeton series of contemporary poetry. Next is The Seven Moons of Molly Almeida, which I read last year. But it's by Shehan Karunatalaka. It won the Booker Prize in 2022, and I liked it. I didn't love it. It was okay, and I definitely think it falls apart by the end. And it is, I think, more urban fantasy than it is literary fiction. So the next batch of books are by Yasunari Kawabata. House of the Sleeping Beauties, which I just recently had to go at for in May and did not get on with. I've had these books for about 20 years. I don't think I've ever had a go at Beauty and Sadness. One of my professors gave me most of these as a graduation present. The Master of Go, which is one of my favorite novels of all time. I also remember The Sound in the Mountain rather fondly, although a recent reread attempt was not all that positive. It's been a while since I read The Old Capitol, although I remember liking it. And the oldest Kawabata I have, the first one I had, is Thousand Cranes, which I've read a few times and have decided to leave mixed feelings for. Back to poetry with More Than This by David Kirby, which I'm not all that fond of. I am significantly more fond of and actually really like Host and Guest by Nate Klug. This is a really fantastic collection, and hopefully Klug has more work incoming. I have yet to get to Immortality by Milan Kundera. I have struggled with the collected poems of Philip Larkin. I've had several goes at this, and my most recent reread of it worked out significantly better than my earlier ones. Next is the collected stories of David Levitt. I enjoy. I don't know necessarily what I think of his short fiction, because I've read A Place I've Never Been, and I think those were mixed, but I haven't really reread this or read this collection since I bought it, which I really should do, now that I think about it. Or, I guess, get rid of it when I need to. This is Lucky Wreck by Ada Limon, which is pretty good. I just recently read Dear Miss Schubert by Yuval Lipska, which is okay. Next is Bind Up from Colin McGuinness, the London novels, which I picked up largely because it includes Absolute Beginners, which I have a bit of an obsession with, although the movie adaptation is nothing like the book at all. So, yeah. I have struggled with that book, that novel, for ages. Next is Midak Ali by Naguib Mahfouz, which I read about 20 years ago. I don't think I actually particularly liked it, now that I think about it, so I don't quite know why I reacquired it. Next is another work of Australian poetry. This is Intimate Geography, Selected Poems 1991 to 2010 by Jennifer Maiden, which is really good. I really enjoyed this collection. Next to classic or canonical English literature. This is Le Morte d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory, which I have never read the entire book. And I also have a very, very beat up complete plays of Christopher Marlowe, which I'm a bit afraid to read because even though I'm very careful with my books, this one is so fragile I think it will fall apart if I try to read it. So, BookTube, that concludes shelf 4 of my classics, canonical, modern, and contemporary fiction, poetry, and drama shelves. So I think I'm going to take a bit of a break and come back and film the next 3 shelves another day. So I will be wearing a different outfit, whereas the first 4 I was wearing this black shirt. So anyway, BookTube, until I see you next time, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.